I think we can all agree that one of the main reasons stories and shows resonate and become successful is through likable and relatable characters. But what happens when you base a show around a group of people that are universally considered deplorable? That would be more pointless and about as successful as the time Uncle Sal fashioned together two popsicle sticks and a rubber band and called it homemade Viagra. Succession has somehow given us the impossible, twisting the traditional narrative of relatable and likable characters and becoming not only one of the best current running shows, but quickly making a case for an all time great. It focuses on the fictional Roy family and their media conglomerate Waystar Royco, with each member of the family having their own dangerous ambitions for power and control. Think Game of Thrones, Santa Maria, the books, and seasons 1 through 4, not the rest, set in the boardrooms, yachts, helicopters, and sex dungeons of New York's elite. Each character on the surface is an archetypical stand-in for familial billionaires. The old dog unable to give up control and everyone believes he's past his prime. The trust fund kid pissing it away on eccentric dreams. And the ones looking to make a name beyond the shadow of daddy. Sycophants, simpletons, and stugats. They're all people with qualities audiences usually associate with villains and antagonists, yet Succession has made them the centerpiece of the show. And at any given point in the series, you could be on the side of one, two, or all of them. As a viewer, you're put in an interesting position. While all the characters are spectacularly written and portrayed by skillful actors, they are still simply bad, exploitative, and sometimes downright evil people. How can you root for them? Sure, the baddie is always fun and interesting for a minute, but traditional stories have the hero triumphing in the end. It's who your mind inevitably always comes back to. But in this story, there really are no heroes. It's one baddie after the next, and you love them. Infighting, family backstabbing, deadly cover-ups, political and corporate scandals, elitism, appeasement of sexual harassment. These are people you wouldn't want to spend any daylight or even nighttime hours with. The decisions all the characters make are based on life experiences no one in the audience can truly understand. They should be unrelatable to the average viewer. It's a show that doesn't make sense in today's climate, and yet it's astoundingly good. Part of the success of the show is that you may not love each character all the time, but you can understand and even relate to the themes that are brilliantly explored throughout the show and by each character regardless of the vantage point. Acceptance, failure, love, familial relationships, these are all things we can understand. Logan Roy is my favorite character on the show. He's the ultimate modern antagonist, and Brian Cox, who is known for playing the baddie, is exceptional in this role, and his success comes from always keeping you guessing. Audiences expect antagonists in stories to be bad and do evil things, which can be the downfall of many characters and stories, especially when you have an actor who's known for these roles. But Brian and the writing staff do an amazing job at the duck and move. You're never quite sure what Logan's plan is, whether it's corporate genius, or he really did lose his competence, and the decisions being made are as a result of a senile old man surrounded by his trusted army of yes-men. There are subtle insights into Logan's mindset across each season that will have you flip-flopping between both these opinions, and leave you more confused than the time Uncle Sal told me that he warms up for my aunt by sticking his finger in the kitchen socket. It doesn't really make sense, and you're not entirely sure what the reason is, but you're still satisfied you were there to experience it. Kendall's development can give you emotional whiplash at times, almost certainly bipolar, most definitely manic-depressive narcissist. Your opinion of him depends on whatever ill-fated journey he takes from episode to episode, and even from scene to scene. And my boy Kieran Culkin, he gives us a masterclass in portraying an emotionally wrecked creep of a billionaire baby. If you've ever been confused as to what people mean when they say chaotic good, familiarize yourself with Roman Roy and his jaw-dropping, sexually offensive, utterly insane antics. Shiv's holier-than-thou attitude and complete ignorance of the fact that she is just like everybody else can often make you root for her downfall. But when it inevitably happens and you get exactly what you were hoping for, when she is cut down by her own father, it's a bittersweet moment, as it often is with all the characters, as you come to realize that part of you feels the same betrayal or hurt. The writers have brilliantly composed dynamic characters, each uniquely different from the other, and the decisions, although cringeworthy and sometimes downright deplorable, make sense for each character and are often backed by each of their histories and experiences, which is always the evidence of quality writing, when you can hate the character and their decisions, but you're not angry at the story being told. And there's a great supporting cast of B players, most notably in the relationship between Tom and Greg, who may even end up being the dark horse of the series. The two of them together provide the much-needed comic relief throughout tense episodes and the overall dark tone of the show. And joy of joys, it's funny and makes you laugh in all the right places. Too often dramas succumb to the pitfall of trying to be funny for added relief, but they are often run by people who don't have the first concept of what a joke is. Producers Will Ferrell and Adam McKay's resumes speak for themselves. They really do understand funny, and they've cast a group of actors that are able to pull it off, so when a joke hits, it slaps harder than in My Great Aunt Marie when you turn down that third helping of her Brajol. You want to talk dark comedy? Succession should be used for the model of all future productions. The writers and showrunners brilliantly find humor in places that would often make your holes pucker tighter than Tom Hanks, Mel Gibson, Leonardo DiCaprio finding out Ricky Gervais is coming back for another stint at the Golden Globes. Sexual exploitation, death, racism, incessant need for power and control. Succession is able to explore these dark topics by presenting you with a situation so outrageously incomprehensible to the average individual and whipping the rug right out from under you quicker than Uncle Sal if you ever actually did get with that Chili's waitress. And in the end, it'll make you laugh at things you never thought you could. Succession is currently one of the best written dramas on television right now, and its formula escapes traditional story archetypes and development. All the characters are unrelatable and most certainly unredeemable, but somehow this only makes you like them more. As insane as it may sound to say about a family of pretentious billionaires, but this makes them somewhat underdogs in your mind. We all love a good redemption story, which is definitely not what Succession is about or how it will inevitably end, but each character with their flaws and deplorable actions can make you root for them even more, and never all at the same time. There are dynamic shifts in your feelings towards each character in the show, and that's the brilliance of what the producers, writers, and actors have created. It's akin to what Game of Thrones was and should have been. There is no good versus evil, they're just people, and that's why we love it. What do I know? If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.